Hey, everybody. It's Gia XoXo here. Gia XoXo. Yeah. Hey, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Where's the scene? Welcome to story time. It's who is Gia XoXo. Just a little story time on me and who I am and how I came to love this game and why I decided to be here on YouTube to share my stories with you guys. So, yeah, let's get into it. Oh, and I'm not sure entirely what footage I'm putting this over, but most likely it will be a build for an LP that I'm doing, or yeah, most likely be a build for it. Yeah. So firstly, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, which is a twin island nation in the Caribbean, and that is where my accent is from. So where's the scene? So where's the scene? My catchphrase is essentially like a Trini catchphrase, and it's like, "What's up? How you going? You're good? Like, where's the vibes? How are you?" You know. So I'm just asking, "What's up?" in my terminology. Right? I am very proud to be from the Caribbean and from my country, and the culture and just the people and the beauty and fun. I am laid back and easygoing. Right now I'm just on peace seeking and the path of my most joy, and just wanna be high vibed and emotionally intelligent. I am also a very sensual woman, but I am demisexual. I was brought up and taught from a very young age that kindness is free, and it takes nothing to just be nice and share a kind word or smile with people, because sharing kindness and compassion is the least you could do to help your other humans that trying our best down here. So that's just an intro to me, and now we're going on to like the Sims stuff. Like, how did I get into Sims and gaming in general? So I've always had a huge imagination, like ever since I was like very, very young, like a child. And I remember wanting to always direct the games my cousins and I played when we played house, and who was who role and who could play the role the best and that kind of thing like that. And I remember getting like buff up. That is a Trini terminology meaning scolded by one of my aunties, and she told me I was bossy. And she was right. I like things my way or the highway. I am the director of the story here, and plus I was a little spoilt only child, but not like in a bratty way. I just wanted my way, and if they didn't do it, the game was over, party done. Let's go. But a little later on, like around 9, my mom and I moved, and we were in the same like neighborhood but further away. Like, I didn't live in the same place with my cousins anymore, so I only saw them like on the weekends. And so I became like obsessed with Legos and telling my stories through Legos, and paper dolls. I had a lot of paper dolls and stuff like that. And then with the Legos, I made up stories about family gameplay in pretend houses that didn't exist. And these scenarios just took hours of my day. It really took hours of my day, and I loved every second of it. Like, and it's like I fast forward, it's like you fast forward now to my early teens, and I started writing under a pen name, Gia D. And I expanded my worlds that I already created before, because it was my way of dealing with some trauma I was going through at the time. And I wrote a series of like novellas in like small notebooks, and I dedicated to my friends. My friends and I, and we were like placed in like really dramatized situations of like things that like went on in school, like who, and like little dramatic stupid situations that were that would dramatize. It was like a full-on soap opera series going on there. But these, like, those little novellas are like now lost in space and time. Like, I I believe my mom probably found them. But the thing is, the worlds were never to escape to, but I just enjoyed creating. And at the time, like I was able to just take one little story prompt and just go from there. It was so simple and easy to just write. And I tackled storylines about like romance, drama, suspense, and eroticism, right? Because we all watch Skinamax. We all watch those Skinamax shows on USA Up All Night. I mean, I know I'm dating myself, but I'm proud, okay? I'm proud to be old like the road, okay? So but I wrote eroticism in the capacity of a 14 to 17-year-old could muster, right? Like, what does a 14 to 17-year-old know who is not sexually active know about eroticism beyond what is being shown on Skinamax? So anyway, sometime after 17, I like lost my ability to write, or I just kind of just doubted myself to the point where I stopped writing. And like I felt super unworthy, but it was just during this time like I turned on to gaming. Like, yeah. So during teenage years, you'll go to the mall during like July, August vacations. Now, July, August vacations is our summer, because technically we don't have summer, and we so we used to spend that time during the mall. Like every weekend we'll be at the mall, and you would look for cute boys, and most of the cute boys used to be in the arcade, right? Because obviously. So, but I was more interested in like Soul Calibur and Soul Edge or Street Fighter. So I just used to be in the arcade to play games. Yeah, it had cute boys, and I would like play the game with them and get my ass cut by them. But because I was pretty shitty. I mean, I was having fun, but I was pretty shitty. So, and then I started to work in the same mall, like after I left school, like in 17. Like at 17, I started to work at the mall, and I used to go down there and spend my lunch hour or just like right after work, just play until the mall closed. So yeah, I was just loving the arcade life. So then enter boyfriend number one. He's a gamer and he owned an internet cafe. Yes, as I said before, I am old like the road. Remember internet cafes, people? Like, do they even still exist right now? I can't even imagine how slow that computer was. thinking of it like right now, like, oh my gosh, dial up. Anyway, so during the time in the internet cafe was the time when the love affair for gaming really truly began, because I had so much fun playing games like Soldier of Fortune, StarCraft, like Need for Speed, and other games for nights on end. It's like you just the internet cafe vibes and the game nights is so much shit talk, is so much camaraderie, like it's just the vibe, because you're just playing game, eating and talking shit whole night, right? And I was doing these game nights and being a party girl and working my job. Like I was living that young, wild and free life. Like, so fast forward a bit, I'm about 21 years old and I'm on to relationship number 2. And he had a bootleg copy of The Sims and some of its packs. Now, I grew up poor. I didn't have a PC back at home because back then in 2003 or something like that, 2003, 2004, they weren't in every household. You had to be like middle class and up to have a PC in your house. Like that wasn't a thing in my part of the Caribbean yet, So even though me and relationship number 2 was on the rocks, I used to go by his house, right, to do 2 things, which was to play The Sims and catch a nut, and maybe play The Sims again, because okay, I'm not ashamed, okay, I was hooking for The Sims, but maybe I was just using him because I was really like, I love the game. I fell in love with that game but I didn't have an idea why I fell in love with Sims once at a time. Like I didn't know like what was the real reason that I fell in love with it. But what I do know, Sims 1 is the most chaotic Sims game However, to keep a sim alive, just one sim alive, just through cooking breakfast, like, was a goal. Like, it's like, forget about like the whole day. Like, could he not catch on fire while cooking breakfast? Then great. Because it was like, what is Sims 1? And I really want to play Sims 1 again. So if I get a good copy of it, I would love to play it on the channel, because I've seen other people do it and I haven't played Sims 1 in ages, like ages. But yeah, I used to go, and I will say it again, to catch a nut and to play The Sims. So after the relationship ended, I was cut off from my supply of Sims. But then, your girl started to work like a proper, proper quote-unquote little office job and thing, started making a little bit more money. So I got myself a PC, and the Sims 2 launched. I can't remember the year, but your girl didn't have money to spend on that, right? So, like, yeah, I was still a party girl, partying, like, the party prices raised, and your girl needed to be in that party. So I chose partying over Sims, right? So I got Sims 2 on bootleg from like my gamer ex, right? No, I wasn't hooking this time. Because we were just cool like that. We were just chill like that, right? And we had a common bond as well. Like, we like to play video games. So, and Sims 2 was lit. Sims 2 is still the baddest bee on the block. And I think most people would agree with that. Like, yeah. And especially coming from Sims 1 and the improvements, like the vast improvements they made, while still being chaotic as heck. Sims 2 is the baddest bee. Nobody could come test. Like Sims 5, but I had to come good because, and I'll talk about Sims 4 flaws as well, And it's like, I got the game, I got Sims 2, and I was able to get like some packs, but not all. And it's like, I spent like hours acting all the stories I wanted to tell, and it was like my world, my little chaotic little world, and I loved it. Like, I loved it. So, but I think that I think that my mother was very concerned that her big hardback grown woman child was playing with a virtual dollhouse now. And it's like, that woman was too sweet, yes. Like, rest her kind soul. Yes. It's like, now, the Sims 3 didn't really like do it for me. But it wasn't like the game's fault. Like, a lot of changes and challenges was happening during that time. A lot of challenges with money, and I needed to change computers, so it had a lot of things just was working against. So I did have some packs. I think I enjoy playing World Adventures because I got them on discs. So I got the regular Sim on disc, and then I got World Adventures on the disc, and something else I got on the disc, but I can't remember. And I think I was still playing at the time too. I was still trying to play I was playing more Grand Theft Auto San Andreas at that time too, because I really like San Andreas. Anyway, that's a totally different game. We're talking about the Sims here, right? So it's like I missed gaming, but Sims 3 couldn't hold me like Sims 2. And like all my bootleg copies weren't like not good anymore. So yeah. I just realized like I'm saying so much, and I'm sorry. So so when the Sims 4 was announced, I was like so hyped. I was like, because again, I didn't have any copies of Sims 2. Sims 3 just wasn't doing it for me. And I was following like all the news because I was watching LPs, and I was following like I became obsessed with LPs, and and all anything Sims related news. I used to live on Sims VIP. It just was like, yeah, I was excited. I was hyped to the max because again, I did enjoy Sims 3 open world. Like, and I didn't really enjoy the color, the creator style, but it was nice if I wanted to like put my whole freaking house in flames on everything, I could do that. Like, yeah. So it wasn't a necessity for me, but I really enjoyed Sim Street Open World, and I did enjoy. My favorite pack from them was the Isla Paradiso. Like, I love that pack because I made sure I purchased that pack. Everything because I got some. No, I didn't get any I've never gotten bootlegs. I used to use somebody else's account. Yeah, shh, don't tell them that. We don't share accounts here. So yeah, anyway. So, even though I was excited for Sims 4 when it was launched, I didn't realize I was going into like one of the darkest periods of my life. Like, so, and then Sims 4 has its flaws where it's not as fun as the other games. The world wasn't open. It was just different, and even though it was beautiful, like I love the art style. I love that cartoony style. Like I read that's my vibe. And the cast was really cool. Or the ability to mold your Sims faces properly. Their clothes was atrocious. Thank God for custom content. Sorry, it's terrible. They really need to replace those base game hairs. Like, what are they doing? Like, update quicker. Anyway, rant over. Yeah, so as I said, I was entering one of the darkest periods of my life, and like mental and emotional health issues loomed over me, and I couldn't really hold up anymore, pretend anymore, and I lost all interest in Sims, gaming, storytelling. I turned to like junk food and TV, but then after a while I lost interest in that. Like, I lost interest in TV altogether, and I was just living on autopilot. I didn't even know what I was doing during that period. And I became just a shell of a person. Like, I occasionally open up the Sims 4, but the Sims 4, like, as I said, it's less fun than the previous games. So it's so it was easy to get bored and not touch the game for months. Like, it required me to do too much thinking, and I just wanted to play. But in 2019, it came a turning point in the recent history of my life, and my living situation improved, my mental health. I started working on my mental health, and and just a continuous healing journey I'm on right now. And as I said, healing doesn't look the same every day, but I'm loving the journey that I'm on. So back in 2019, I started playing GTA 5. I started playing that again. Take out some frustration, kill some fools, drive crazy in the streets. Because one of my favorite things to do is just because I love the GTA map, just drive around the game, listening to music. But yeah, so one of my favorite things to do is just jump in a car in GTA and just drive listening to music. And yeah. So after starting playing GTA, I opened up The Sims again, and like for the first time in a long time, like I found the zeal to create little storylines to play, and I was real ecstatic about it because I didn't feel to play a story in a long time. Like, I think one of the first stories I created was just like, mom, dad, he was a hothead, and the mom was like this nice little housewife, and he just was terrible to the kids and her, and just, cheated on her with the nanny and blah, blah, blah. And it was just like a simple, like regular storyline that is not creative, but it was a spark. So, as I said, that was a spark, right? So my healing journey actually, like, it found me revisiting things I liked to do as a child, because this was to aid in like managing workplace related anxieties, right? So two of those things that I really loved doing as a child was, one, telling stories, obviously, and the other one was learning about science, geography, space, earth, cultures. I liked maps, and as a child I had a set of Encyclopedia Britannica. Yes, before the age of Google, we had to go into encyclopedias. I was born in the caveman days of 1984. So I remember like having the encyclopedias, and I used to spend hours reading them over and over, and I vowed to travel the world, and I would always know where the constellations were. So I adore clouds as well, and I still do today. Like, I love cloud gazing, I love stargazing. I'm very big into astrology and astronomy. So it's like I started to watch a lot of nature and science and geography videos and I used to watch videos about space, and a spark lit up inside of me. I started to feel something again, you know. So after that, I tried like writing little things. Like, I have brief outlines of short stories, I have a synopsis of at least 2 novels and a poetry book, because I do dabble in some poetry. Yeah. And then I started playing The Sims again, like Sims 4. And I took some of my story ideas and acted them out. Like, you know, they were carefully crafted stories that only lasted for like one generation, or not even just a plain scene, you know, of like a runaway teen, or a really successful family, those kind of things, no. And I think I just did the elaborate scenarios and all the works that comes with being a Sim storyteller, because Sims people imaginative, like, wow. And the spark that lit up inside of me just got bigger and brighter, and like, my friend Z and I would share stories back and forth, like, and I can't tell you how much story space my phone just take up of me recording my Sims and sending it to her, and just telling her about like, who is this and what is this and why this, so, and where's the story, and she would tell me the same thing, because she's like my like only real like live Sims friend. Like, I have other friends that play the Sims, but not as hardcore as I do. Like, I am obsessed. And as I said before, I had been watching LPs for years, like since like and I always wanted to start my own channel. I wanted to start a channel in 2014 with the launch of Sims 4. But you know, obviously, I always talk myself down, you know, making excuses about like my computer wasn't good enough, I don't know how to do this, what if nobody likes me, what if nobody understands my accent, what if, you know? Just talking myself into things and talking myself out of things. So, but one afternoon, early October 2021, I can't remember the exact day, I had a pain in my heart, in my chest, and I needed to release it. Like, it just felt like something was it just had a hole inside of my chest, and I needed to fill it. And my channel, Gia XoXo 2405, which is now Gia XoXo 2405, was born. And I recorded my first test LP, which I did send for Z, and she big me up, even though it's terrible. And I may release it one day just for like kicks, because I don't know, I was very proud of myself, but when I tell you, like, when I was doing it, I was like on fire. Like, I felt so happy. Like, the recording of it, the creating the graphics for it just the thumbnail, and I had like a little picture part where I was introducing my sim. It made my heart sing. Like, I smile ear to ear every time I get to create a video. Like, I just be sitting on my computer like a fool, just grinning. Like, and every time I'm editing, you know, coming together, re-listening to the shit that I be talking, because sometimes I just be talking shit. And I tell you, this is in my head like 100% of the time. Like, I live there are always storylines in my head going on. Always. It's kind of annoying. So for me, it's like Sims gave me the set and the actors, and YouTube gave me the platform. And what I love about the Sims and the Sims YouTube community, because if you ask me, like when I was 5 or 6 years old, what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would have said like a princess, so I wanted to be on TV. I'm neither of those things yet. I'm not counting myself out. We could claim it in 2022. Big things could still go on. Anyway, but it's like I can be a princess on TV on The Sims if I wanted to. Like, you could be whatever you want to be. You could do whatever you want to do. And The Sims is like a wonderful game. And as I said, what I love about Sims YouTube is no two people can take this game and play exactly the same way. It is very personal to like you. Everybody has their specific look. Everybody has their gameplay style. So I discovered that I have two very distinct play styles because the Gemini in me needs to always be present, right? So I have two very different play styles. Is like, yeah, and this informs how like my sim worlds and how the rules of the worlds that they play in. So I have my first play style, which is reality based. It have a very controlled storyline and backstory, because it's like a TV show in my head, and I need to have the setting right and the script right and everything like that. However, I do leave room for like whims, because I have like a couple of whims mods now, because I leave room for my Sims to have their own personality as well on top of the one I created for them. Except I don't understand why all Sims is asked for a freaking B-Box in the summer. I mean, no. Unless you like the outdoors, why the hell do you want a B-Box? Anyway, that is like one of the gripes that I have with whims, because I really did enjoy Sims 21's unfair system. Anyway, I'll stop going goo gaga over Sims 2, but it, yeah. What was I saying? So the reality base, they have there's a world map. Oh, I'll talk about the world map after. Anyway, so then the other playstyle is like the ridiculous gameplay that is random and more whims based, or just random and like wicked. And because I don't care about these characters really and truly, I just don't. So it's like I want to play more chaotic. Yeah. So aka if one of my Sims dies in the reality base by accident, like if they die by laughing in the reality base, I'll be like, no, that's not part of my storyline. I will revive them. Or I would like exit without saving. But especially but in the ridiculous gameplay, like if the main character dies, then I'll be like, okay, we'll just move along. Like what happened in my Black Widow LP, like the second episode, the freaking Black Widow went and died. Like, who does that? But I just let the game decide what's what, and it's like I had to roll with the punches, because that is also part of the fun, and it helps make up the story on the fly. So I like that. I like the idea of making up the story on the fly. Although it's rare for me to play with like occult Sims, I have to be like in the mood to play with them, because especially in this game, they're less fun in this game. Vampires are pretty cool, but mermaids were disappointing. Pretty disappointing, but pretty. Aliens, I don't think I've played with aliens once in my life. Yeah. But yeah, I have to. But if I am playing with occults, it will be like a mix of the two gameplay styles, because I'll have to create a story to care, but I could play fun and chaotic because of the nature of the occult Sims anyway. So yeah. So essentially, Gia XoXo 2405 is like my network. It's like my TV network, and my content are my little TV shows that I put on. And I fondly call it Planet EXO in my head and in my heart. Oh, and XoXo comes from Gossip Girl, because I used to be a Gossip Girl hoe back in the days, like. And because my initials are GG, because it's like, so it's like Gossip Girl XoXo. So I love the idea of like my pen name plus XoXo. So now that I've told you guys all my business, and I let you into like my world in my mind, and how my mind works, and my worlds. I hope you enjoy getting to know me a little more, and excited for what I'm bringing to my channel. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Remember, if you like this video, just comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know. Let me know if y'all used to watch Kinemax too. But no, for real, I really want to know, like, how did you get into simming, and what keeps you coming back to the Sims, right? And okay, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And did I say that already? I probably said that before, but right now I'm like, yeah. I love you guys. One love and bless. XOXO. Bye.